Welcome to the Ketchum Catching Challenge. The rules are simple. The starter must be Pikachu. Any Pokemon caught must have been caught by Ash Ketchum in the relevant anime season. Other starter Pokemon will not appear. Any evolution has to have canonically happened. Ash does get all of the starters in the anime, but as I couldn't figure out how to mod that in before the recording of this episode, it's not going to happen. The Pokemon do not have to be caught at the same time as they were in the anime. That would be needlessly difficult. A little bit about me before we start off. I am CaffinatedBlacksmith, I use they them pronouns, and I have a Twitch which will have a link in the description of the video. Anyway, let's get to the challenge. I played the intro screen as I thought that was a good way to start off. That will only happen on the first episode of each game, don't worry. I've never actually played Fire Red all the way through, so this will be fun. Just going through the little starting section. I choose the masked character as I always do, and named the rival Gary. I named myself Ash, and I named the rival Gary because who else would it be? Just get through the first little section, run out of my house, read a notice, find out the helps thing, and we go into the tall grass, and nope, okay, we can't do that. That's unfortunate. Alright. Hey, we get our very own Pokemon, yeah. Oak runs off, we go up, and yeah. Hey Gary, yeah. We get to choose our Pokemon. God, Gary's so annoying. I use Pikachu in place of Squirtle because that way it won't be like super weak against it by the end, and it provides more challenge. We get our first rival battle. Yeah, I'm reading through the script and I'm remembering where this is at, and you're gonna see in a couple of seconds. This goes really badly. The first attack is a critical hit. Like, yeah, we get the static off, but we do basically nothing to Bulbasaur. So yeah, this isn't great. And we lose. We just straight up lose. Like, the first rival battle is a loss. Luckily, it's not the later games where you have to win to continue. So, yeah, Gary will just leave. Cool. So we are on our way out. We talk to the little girl with the trainer tips sign. And 3 steps in, we get our first wild Pokemon. Yeah, we take care of it fairly quickly with a couple of Thunder Shocks. And we get a little bit of experience, which is nice. We get another wild Pokemon battle, this time against a Pidgey, which is liable to be much shorter. Yep, single hit. We go up to the guy and we get our free potion as soon as he turns and looks at us. Yeah, we got a free potion that we are probably never going to use. Yeah, and we get another Pidgey fight. At least it's easy experience. Continue making my way up. And we get to Viridian City. And heal my Pokemon. Get a little jingle that isn't in this version of the audio because I'm using royalty-free audio. And we go over to the Pokemart. And hey, we get to take Professor Oak's parcel back. Okay, I mean, you could have delivered it yourself, but alright. Yeah, this isn't exactly very interesting, but we just get through the sort of first road, and back down through Pallet Town, and back into the lab. And hey, we talked to him. It's a custom Pokeball. I'm actually really curious what that is now. Hey, we get our Pokédex, finally. And some Pokeballs. Good. We get Grandpa Oak's spiel, and then we have Gary being a little shit. Luckily, his sister doesn't pay any attention to him whatsoever, so we get the town map anyway. The first time I played this game, I didn't know that you could get the town map from Daisy even after that, and I went through the entire game very lost. Hey, we got another Rattata fight, and it's paralyzed with Thundershock, which doesn't do a whole lot, and then we catch it. We throw out a Pokeball. Now, I grabbed it because at some point I'm going to need to turn it into Eradicate, because Ash does actually catch one. We're just making our way back up through. Yet another Rattata. This one gets just roasted. Like, two-shot. Static is really useful as an ability. And hey, we got a level up. Wonderful. And we learned Tail Whip, which will actually come in handy later. Back through Viridian City, and we get ourselves the catching tutorial. This was so boring. I actually, this was like the third time trying to record, like this section, or like the recording that I'm using for this was from the third time trying to record. It was so annoying. Hey, we got ourselves a free item that we're never going to use. And now we just start making our way up through Viridian Forest. This is not going to be fun. Lovely little cinematic. And you start walking. This is very chill music. I like this. And this is about where my deep and abiding hatred of String Shot starts. This location. Viridian Forest. Hey, we got a sign. Cool. I absolutely despise String Shot now. Like, deep in my soul, there is a burning hatred for that move. Because it just sends your speed lower and lower and lower. Luckily, we killed Caterpie and we got some more XP, which is nice. Yet another Caterpie. I thought these things were apparently supposed to be rare, but I keep running into them. I have no idea why. The fact that it survived on 1 health just to spite me. And we found a Pokeball. It's always nice. So we start making our way through the other branch of Viridian Forest, avoiding a couple of trainers. Well, avoiding one and then promptly getting blindsided by the other one. It's Rick, and it's a Weedle. Poisoned my Pikachu. And me, being me, completely forgot that I had a potion in my bag. Like, just entirely. But, yeah, we get through. He takes us down to 3 health. Pikachu is down to 1. At this point, I remember I have the potion. And, you know, finally get string shotted again. Because why not? Get a little bit of health out. And then we finally take down the Caterpie. Sort of continue making my way up and getting attacked by poison. And I get an antidote. And I use it absolutely immediately because Pikachu is really low on health. We just start making our way up. I creep past this guy. Make our way down. And we sort of go up. And we run into something else. And it's another Weedle. Because of course it is. And it poisons me. You'll never guess what happens next. The poison doesn't go off. And I get to here. And I found a Metapod. And I'm so excited by, you know, something other than Weedles and Caterpie that I just completely neglected to see how low Pikachu's health is. Which is why at a minute you're going to see exactly how that kicks me in the backside. See? There's a trainer there. He sends out a single Weedle. It is 2 levels higher. And it critical hits me. At this point, I activate the help option through sheer rage by banging my controller on the desk. I was so annoyed. Yeah, Rattata gets paralyzed for some reason. String Shot is the bane of my existence once again. It does almost nothing. And Rattata faints. At this point, Caterpie is like, just do something. And he doesn't even get that right. He is just immediately wiped out. And I am sent back to Viridian City. I was just hammering the A button. And I managed to time it perfectly. So I start making my way back up to Viridian Forest, which at this point I am so over and done with, and I haven't even finished going all the way through it yet. Like, I just want nothing to do with it, and then we just have to keep going. Make our way up. Sneak past that guy very stealthily. Get through this winding path. Have another battle. This time, Pikachu is in a much better position. The tackle misses entirely, and Caterpie just gets absolutely roasted. And Pikachu learns Thunder Wave, finally getting up to 4 moves. Kakuna does not last very long. Used Harden, it was not very effective, and it did not help very much. Finally got to rematch Sammy, and yeah. Pikachu, now almost the same level, takes it half down. And we don't get poisoned, so we might actually be able to leave this forest until String Shot. Twice. I hate String Shot. But Weedle has finally been dealt with, and we got almost all the way to another level. At this point, I don't want anything to do with Viridian Forest anymore, and I just leave. So that patch of grass, I spent an hour and a half grinding in. So once I leave the Pokemon Center, it's gonna, like, cut. Because I screwed up the editing. Like, and it just cuts into a battle. But this is me using String Shot to my advantage. Not really taking into account the fact that Caterpie does very low damage. And just getting bodied. But we get Rattata out, and we use another tackle. Pidgey misses, and we finally catch ourselves a Pidgey. There's nothing really to say there, we just caught ourselves a Pidgey. Caterpie evolved into Metapod in the grinding time, and it evolved into a Butterfree. That took genuinely an hour and a half of grinding to get that. And yeah, so we got all of our Pokemon. We talked to this girl for the first of many times because I keep accidentally running into her. We talked to the dude at the front office, at the front statue of Jim. Also, did you know that Geodude is an acceptable word in Google Docs? I didn't until I had to edit the script halfway through reading it. Well, speaking it, but yeah. This battle does not go well at all. Honestly. Like, Rattata does not do very much damage at level 10, especially to a rock type, even if they are the same level. This battle was absolute hell to get through, because even with, like, the footage on double speed, I'm pretty sure it's still around 5 or 6 minutes long. So we were just like... Also, I appreciate the backing track just being like this soaring, inspirational, like, orchestral mix while I'm getting my ass kicked by something without legs. So at this point I'm using just Sand Attack just to try and stop it from attacking me long enough to the point that I can do damage back. It kind of works, but it also kind of doesn't, because it just uses Defense Curl, and then I'm just doing nothing. Because at about 3, I was doing 1 damage, and at 6, I'm doing literally 1 damage. Sorry, no, at 3, I was doing 3 damage, and at 6, I'm doing 1 damage. Like, it is doing almost nothing. And because this is Pokemon Fire Red and is before the physical special split, he only has 1 defense stat. And it is raised to the max. At this point, like, it is on 1 HP, and he knocks out my Pidgey. Luckily, Butterfree cleans up with the confusion, and we get started on the Sandshrew. Luckily, Confusion does a lot of damage against Sandshrew. So I could deal with it, you know, fairly easily. We got up to level 11, which is nice. No, light years isn't time, it is distance, and this guy's kind of stupid. So we made our way back to the Pokemon Center, running around this stupidly placed fence. It annoys me so much. I just hammer the A button, and I'm pretty sure... Yeah. I'm pretty sure I did something. We'll reorder our Pokemon a little bit. Or not. No, that's at about 30 seconds. We get to in front of Brock, and I think I reorder my Pokemon. Nope, I just don't reorder my Pokemon at all. Okay. It's the next attempt that I reorder my Pokemon. This one does not go well at all. So at this point we're trying to out-defense Geodude, which is an exercise in futility, honestly. So we're just, like, tail whipping it, trying to get it to go down. And we're like, we have one ahead of it, but like we're not doing any damage. And we get taken out pretty quickly once Geodude starts actually attacking us. Like, that's 2 ahead. And then 3 ahead, and Geodude uses Tackle and just... To be fair, Rattata was a sacrificial thing, like, lamb anyway, just to get rid of his defense. Confusion works really well against Geodude, and it keeps missing. So we take out Geodude, and then we come up against the Onix. This is where things start to go horribly, horribly wrong. The first Rock Tomb is super effective. It brings Pidgey down to 2 health. Bind takes care of Pidgey. And then we go Butterfree to try and get some confusion. Like, you missed a couple of times. Like, 3 misses in a row is, like, incredible. And if it just missed one more time, I would have gotten it. But no, it one-shots it. So now we have a Pokemon that cannot do anything to this Onix. And Rock Tomb just deals the rest of Pikachu's health. So we lose, we pay the prize money, we go back to the Pokemon Center. And this is when I actually reorder my Pokemon once I get outside. I swap out Pikachu and Butterfree, putting Butterfree at the back. And I don't know why I walk in here. I think I was looking for TMs, but I don't think I've actually unlocked any yet. Or like, I think you have to have at least 1 badge. And then there was the questionnaire thing, which I've got no idea what it was. So I just left it. Got some tools, which is nice. So, and then this guy just takes us to the museum. I thought he was asking if I wanted to go to the museum. That's why I said no, but he just drags me along anyway. And at least I didn't have to walk it. So we go back into the gym, walk back up to Brock, and it's time for a rematch. So we start out with Rattata, and we're trying to out-defense him again. And it's not going, you know, great. You get a little bit down, and it keeps tackling us. So we get his defense most of the way down before Rattata is dealt with. So we bring Butterfree back out, and we use Confusion. Does a respectable amount of damage, and Geodude is too busy trying to get his defense back up. And then he just hurts himself in Confusion. Wonderful, and we got the level up. This is where we pull out Pidgey, because Sand Attack is the only thing that we can do at this point. Pidgey stays on by 1 health. And we start getting some Sand Attacks. We get 2 misses in a row. We get 3 misses in a row. And then we get Bind, which is basically exactly the same thing that happened last time. This time, however, we send out Pikachu first and start lowering Onix's stats. Tail Whip is doing a respectable job of lowering his, like, defense. But this is a really long battle. This is 7 minutes sped up. This was a 15-minute battle. It took so long. And halfway through I was regretting, like, even just starting this challenge because it was, like, just a drudgery. So we got Onyx's defense all the way down, and we got a bind, but it did basically nothing. So we started using other status move and lowering its attack. This is probably what saved my Butterfree's life, quite honestly. Bind is just going down. Static is capable of paralyzing ground types, which I didn't know. But Onyx is slowed, extremely inaccurate, extremely low defense, and extremely low attack. So having all of that combined means that Butterfree, like, just barely... Well, not just barely, it goes down to green health, but, like, it was a lot of tension in that single attack. And we finally got the Boulder Badge. Finally. And we finally got Flash. I don't know if any of my Pokemon will be capable of learning Flash, but it might be good for getting through Diglett Cave. And we get Rock Tomb. And we talk to this person again because twice, because apparently I just forgot what I was doing. I go back and heal my Pokemon. At this point I pull out the map because I've got no idea where I'm going. And I start walking. And here, we finally get the running shoes. I had no idea they took this long to get. And I'm so glad I finally got them. And then I run face first into a battle. And... so yeah, this entire section is just trainer battles right here. Quick attack is very useful on small, weak rodents and birds. Gust does quite a bit, actually. It does a critical hit. So Rattata is taken out. And then we just use Pikachu because it's flying type, and things that fly are very susceptible to getting hit by lightning. And we get a rematch against a trainer that we never actually fought because I snuck past him. But Gus does quite a bit of damage against the Caterpie, and then we have my old foe String Shot. At least I don't think I will be facing this after I get out of Mount Moon. Hopefully. I don't know for sure. Yeah. But Pidgey gets poisoned. Gus does a lot. And then we take out that second Weedle. And we get a level up, which is nice. And then there's another Caterpie. Tackle takes it down to yellow health. Gus takes Caterpie down to red health. And finally takes it out with a critical hit, which was almost entirely unneeded. No, that is the first time I'm beating you, Colton, because I've never met you before. And then we have a child obsessed with shorts. I know someone who that would apply to. And then Rattata takes out Pidgey. And, like, I get so used to the starters that I quickly realized that playing a non-starter Pokemon as your first Pokemon means that the normally very weak things of a comparable level actually do a lot more damage. Confusion takes care of Ekans really easily. It's a super effective move because Poison is weak to Psychic. And we get that fight done pretty easily. And this is where we pick up Poison Powder in place of Harden, because Poison Powder is going to be really useful later on. And it's just like having status moves is probably a good strategy. A few steps and then we have another Bug Trainer battle. This guy has a Weedle, a Kakuna, a Caterpie, and a Metapod, and he just gets absolutely swept by Confusion. This was very cathartic, actually. Just wiping out his entire team before they have a chance to actually, like, attack back. So yeah, we take care of the Metapod. And we finally get level 14. We do not learn Sunspore. Sunspore? Stunspore. And we take care of another kid. Who appears to be reading far too deep into me looking at a wall. Get some help, child. We use more Confusion. Like, Confusion is very quickly becoming the best move on my team. And it's really useful. We take care of the Nidoran female fairly easily. And I get told to be nice. No. And then we have to fight yet another bug catcher. These guys are everywhere. Not the bugs, the bug catchers. They're almost as prevalent. So we have to deal with this guy, so we take care of his Pokemon fairly easily. I'm watching, like, the screen, so I know what to, like, I'm watching the, sequence in my editing software and the, script at the same time. And just, that guy was so easy to beat that looking at it, I completely disregarded what Pokemon he had in my memory. So I was staring at the screen and I didn't notice what Pokemon he had. That's how easy that fight was. Luckily Disabled missed, otherwise that would have been annoying. And we deal with, I think, the last trainer before Mount Moon. And we pick up Sleep Powder in place of String Shot, because I hate String Shot. And yeah, so we make our way in. Just running. We go up the path, and we go into the Pokemon Center. I'm really appreciative of this Pokemon Center being here, because I would have hated to go all the way back to Pewter. That would have been so annoying. But we now make our way into Mount Moon. The random stopping that I'm doing, that's not me turning. Those are wild Pokemon battles I took out because they just took up so much of the time. And we have our first Team Rocket battle. This guy has 3 Pokemon, and they are not going to last very long. Scratch takes care of Frittata, and then we just get annoyed and bring out Butterfree. Put Sandshrew to sleep, and then we use Confusion to take care of it in almost a single shot. Like, surviving on 1 health is impressive. But we use Tackle and we get rid of it, and then we start with next one. So we do Sleep Powder again, and it wakes up within a single turn, which is such utter bullshit. Luckily, it goes down in 2 hits, so we don't have to deal with it. And the second one was great. And then Zubat, which firmly cements my opinion of Confusion being the best move on my team, one-shots Zubat and wins the fight. And yes, the Rocket Grunt did blow it. And we pick up a star piece. And we make our way back out of that portion of the cave, sneak up around this guy. Another wild Pokemon battle, and we go down a ladder. We find another Team Rocket Grunt. And he has a Zubat, which we used Gust on. Which, you know, doesn't do great. And then it does 1 damage with Leech Life. And a critical hit, Gust takes care of it. Intimidate cuts the attack. We do a little bit of damage. We get wrapped, which was annoying. And then Gust crits again and we take care of it. And we got Quick Attack on Pidgey, finally. Which means we have a priority attack. And we pick up Thief. And we make our way out of that section of the cave. We found a Moonstone that we're never going to use. And then we start running down this way. And into here. And yet another wild Pokemon battle. And yet another Team Rocket battle. It could be bad news, but it's not, because these guys are incredibly ineffective at their jobs. Gust doesn't do a whole lot against Rattata. Quick Attack does, though. And we take care of Rattata. And we pull out Butterfree to deal with the Sandshrew, because Butterfree is almost at level 16. Sandshrew uses Defense Curl, it does not help. This guy goes down, and we start walking. Yeah, that was a whole, like, issue. Yeah, I can't actually edit that. Or am I after I finished doing the... Yeah, I'll edit that sort of sequence back together. After I finish the voiceover. I didn't realize that was there because this is a 40-minute video. And I've been editing for 3 or 4 hours. Actually, no, hang on. It's 20 past 11 at night now, and I started at like 4 PM. I'm very tired. But yeah, we deal with this guy. There's nothing along there. And we found a super nerd. It's one of my people. But he sends out a Grimer, which clarifies him as toxic. So I unfortunately don't one-shot it. But I do two-shot it, so it's not that big of a deal. That gets me almost to level 17. And he sends out Voltorb. Send Voltorb to sleep because Butterfree is very vulnerable to electric attacks. But this wakes up in 1 turn and then uses Tackle. I don't know why. But we hit level 17. And finally he sends out a Coughing, which just gets 1 shot. And yeah, we get almost all the way. So yeah, go and take a fossil. I've got no idea what either of these turn into. I spent a lot of time deciding this. And I don't entirely know why. Yeah, we get the Helix fossil. And he picks up the Dome fossil, and then we leave. We pick up 1 antidote, make our way out of the cave, and we're finally on Route 4. We follow the path, pick up TMO5, up down a ledge, or 2 ledges, and make our way into Cerulean City. We heal at the Pokemon Center, and then this is where I end the session. And this is also where I'm ending the episode. So, thank you to everyone who came and watched. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. If you don't, I'm not going to see it. I'm streaming Thursday, New Zealand time, at probably around 10 a.m. There will be a link to there will be a link to my Twitch account in the description. That's all from me. I'll see you all guys next time. Peace out, everybody.